Welcome. Good morning. We are preparing to do about 40 minutes of movement for this class this morning without anything in special as far as props. We just grab our usual props. And while you're sitting here on your mat, go ahead and rock side to side and front to back. Rearrange your legs if you haven't already done that. Shake it up a little bit. And then go ahead and settle yourself down into your seat and lengthen your spine. Reach your shoulders up towards your ears, so that's going to lengthen your side bodies. So bring those shoulders right up towards your ears, and then roll them slightly back and down, just softly. Don't push them hard. And as you do that, what did your neck do? So adjust your neck so that your eyes are level. And then go ahead and close your eyes. Let the quiet breathing move in and out. And become the noticer of your breath. Maybe start to do a little bit of three-part breathing. So as you inhale, breathe into your belly, breathe into the middle ribs, breathe into the top of the shoulders, and then let it out. Inhale to the belly, into the middle of the body, the rib area, and then the shoulders, and let it out. Inhale to the belly or the lower part of your lungs, then the middle part, and then the top, and let it out. Do a couple more of those, imagining your breath moving into your body in 3 stages. And then return to your normal, natural breath. And bring your hands together in front of your heart center. Notice what happens as you gently push your palms toward one another. What effect does that have on your upper back, your chest, your neck, even your low back and your belly? And then soften your throat as we get ready to chant Om together one time. We'll begin first with a breath in together and sigh it out. Inhale. Bow your head, release your hands, and then start to lift your eyes and your gaze and your head as you look forward. And get ready to start our practice in hands and knees. So let's spend a few minutes on our hands and knees, warming up the shoulder and hip and knee joints. Place yourself purposely and mindfully on your mat. And then maybe just do a little shift back and forth. Lift your left hand, lift your right hand, and just see where you're placing those hands. And then adjust them as needed. And then from here, inhale, look forward, and exhale and round. Moving in a range that feels good. We're just starting off, so don't feel like you have to go to the end range with either of these. Just move back and forth comfortably as we remind the body to move with our breath. And come to a flat back and make your way into puppy pose. Walk your fingers, your hands forward. Let your head sink down. Open up the shoulders, open up the chest. And then bring your right hand back along your body and down onto the floor. And reach your left arm forward. If it's comfortable for you, bring the right hand to your low back. And then reach your right arm up overhead once again. And this time the left hand comes alongside the body and down on the floor. So your fingertips are reaching away from one another. And if it's available to you, place your left hand on your low back. Lift the elbow up into the air just a little. And then bring it back up overhead. Make your way onto hands and knees. And from here, we'll do a figure 8. So let your hips come around and try to make the number 8. Try to make it as fluid as you can. Good, and then reverse direction. If you do find differences side to side, just notice them and try to smooth them out a little bit without forcing. Observe the differences. Good. And then come back to center. Walk your toes together. Bring your knees maybe as wide as your mat if you can. And if it's available to you, go all the way back towards your heels. If you can't go back quite that far because of your hips or your knees, come down onto your forearms and just let your heart sink down. So the toes are touching, the knees are wide, just a little bit different stretch, kind of opening up through the sit bones a little there. You can try to lift your tailbone up into the air to keep a little arch. Come back up onto hands and knees. Bring the knees back underneath the hips. And lift your right arm forward and stretch your left leg back as we engage our core for bird dog. Keep breathing and release. Left arm forward, right leg back. Remember we did a block on our back, I think that was last week. So imagine that block is sitting on that low back and release. Right arm, left leg. And let it go. Final side, left arm, right leg. Toes down, inner thigh rolling upward. And let it go. Come up onto your knees, hands at your hips, curl your toes under. So if that is the stretch for you, for your toes, stay there. If your toes can stretch more, you can start shifting your weight back until you feel those toes get a nice stretch. It was quite nice out here yesterday. I did quite a bit of walking, a little tightness in the foot this morning. And all the way up. And we will make our way into standing. So meet me in Tadasana at the top of your mat. Press through the four corners of your feet as you bring your awareness down to the texture of your mat under the soles of your feet. And bring your hands up overhead, facing one another, and step your right leg back for warrior one. So hips stay forward. If up over the head doesn't feel right on your arms, you can either come into cactus arms or just slightly bent at the elbows so that the shoulders feel okay. From here, we're going to bring the hands to the heart center and step the right foot forward as if you're going to lift it right up into the air. If that's hard, the balance isn't there, touch the toe. So either bend the right knee up into a 90-degree angle or touch the toe onto the ground. And then bring the arms up overhead. Touch your right toes over onto the left. So I'm going to turn so you can see me. So we're going to turn here and bring your hands to your heart center. Bring the right leg up as you bring your arms up overhead once again. Modification, put the toes down. And then step back to warrior one. Step forward, top of your mat, bring the arms down. Do a little notice as you take a breath or two how your left and right side bodies feel. And then arms up overhead or into any modification you need for your shoulders. And step the left foot back this time. Warrior one on the second side. Hips are square to the top of your mat. We bring the left knee up into a 90-degree angle or touch the left toes down as we bring our hands to the heart center. So here or here. And then as the arms come up overhead, touch the left toes across the body to the right. So again, I'll turn so you can see. And bring your hands to your heart center. Keep the hands right here in front of your heart. Lift the left leg up to a 90-degree angle or touch the toes. And step back to warrior one. Arms up. Step forward to the top of your mat. Do a little release. Bring your hands to your hips and circle around. So we got right into the balance this morning while you're fresh. And reverse directions. Top of the mat once again. Tadasana. Check on your posture. Check on your shoulders. Hands to your hips. Step the right foot back, warrior two. Take a moment and adjust your feet. Equal weight, front and back leg, and warrior two. Can you wiggle your left toes? And where has your weight shifted in your right leg? See if you can push down through the four corners of your feet. As we come into reverse warrior. Again, modify that front arm as you need to if the shoulder's not really willing or able to go all the way up overhead this morning. And warrior two. From here, we'll come into extended side angle. So the left arm bends and the right arm comes up overhead. Adjust as needed with that top shoulder. Try to lift the back foot arch just a little bit in case you've shifted your weight to that inner knee. See if you can lift it up a little. And come back through warrior two. From here, start to straighten the left leg. Bend your right arm, bring it to the hip. And reach your left arm over your left leg as we come into Trikonasana prep. So reach over as far as you can first. Maybe even lift your hand up a little bit. And then bring the left hand down to the inside of your left leg. And then reach your right arm straight ahead, like parallel to the floor in front of you. So you're going to bring your arm parallel to the front, to the floor in front of you. And then rotate it up. Your hands should be in the same plane as your shoulder and your chest, so it shouldn't be behind the line of the chest. Trikonasana. And then start to bend the left knee and come back through warrior two. Release the hands behind the low back. Lift your chest, look up, lengthen your abdominals, and then reach forward as we come into humble warrior. Hands reach up, shoulder blades together, and we're looking down at the mat, kind of at the inside of our left foot. Press through the front leg, come back up, arms open, warrior two. Release the hands to your hips, straighten your front leg, and turn into five-pointed star. Step the feet together for a moment here, and maybe release some pressure if you've got any tension built up in your quads, in the front of your hips. Maybe roll your shoulders a little bit as we get ready to move to the second side. I'm going to switch sides so I'm facing you. Step to the top of your mat, Tadasana. Shoulder position, hip position, toes and feet. Hands to the hips, step the left foot back this time, warrior two. Legs. And adjust. Arms up and out. Maybe look back and see if your back arm is in line with your shoulder and your body. And then gaze out over the right side. And make your way into reverse warrior. Take a moment to see where your breath is moving this morning. And back through warrior two. Your strong warrior base pose. Extended side angle. Bend the right arm to the thigh, left arm up and over. Again, adjust as you need to for shoulder mobility. Always should be able to breathe and feel like you could go a little further, meaning don't bring it to your 100%. Always feel like, oh, I could probably go a little bit deeper, but I'm not going to. Come back through warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Release the hands behind you. Interlace your fingers for a moment. Look up. And now release the hands, left hand to your hip. Right arm reaches out over your right leg. And as you extend over the right leg, even lift your fingers up a little bit as we get ready for Trikonasana on the second side. So get really long through this bottom side. And then the right hand comes down and presses into and against the right leg. And the left arm's coming forward parallel to the floor. And then open up. Gaze is either straight ahead or up at the top hand. And the top hand is in line with your shoulder and your chest. Bend the right knee and come into Warrior Two. Interlace the fingers behind you once again. Lengthen the abdominals as you look up. Prepping to now come into Humble Warrior. Reach your heart forward at an angle inside of your right legs. Shoulder blades together. Hands can reach up. Again, if the shoulders don't really enjoy this position, the hands can come to the hips or the low back. Push through the front foot, come back up, make your way into Warrior Two. Straighten the front leg, turn the feet parallel, 5-pointed star. And hands to the heart center, step your feet or jump together. Settle yourself. Those were some powerful poses we did this morning. They should have warmed your body up quite a bit. Now we'll make our way into Eagle Pose by bringing the right foot up and over once again. The right toes can stay in contact here, or you can lift the right foot and press the outer ankle to the outer calf muscle on the left. And then the hands come wide. And the left arm comes on top of the right. As we wind those arms around as much as is comfortable for you. And then reach the elbows up and start to bend the left knee. So we want to get really long between our knees and our elbows. One more breath. And let your eagle fly. And release. Hands to your heart center as we come into the second side. Push down through both feet to start. Wiggle your toes. And then start to lift the left leg and cross it over. Place the toes down as you kind of figure out, did that hip start to collapse or not? And how are you feeling about lifting the foot and pressing it into the outer calf? You might feel good about it, you might not. Arms out wide. And this time the right arm comes on top. As again, just kind of weave those arms together, however works for you. And then lift the elbows as you start to bend the right knee and sink down through your legs as you lift up through your hands. Inhale, exhale, fly. And let it go. Shake it out. And let's kick and release once again. And roll your shoulders as well. Fantastic. Let's come into half kneeling. If you like a bit of a cushion under your knee, you could put a blanket under your knee as we come into a half lunge here. So I'm on my right knee with my left leg forward. And then I'm going to bring my arms up overhead. Grab my right arm as I side bend to the left. So I'm really upright here and I'm lengthening. So I'm in a nice stretch through the right front thigh that we just worked so strongly with all our warrior variations. Come back through center and release. Interlace your hands. Arch. And feel free to sink forward a little bit here if that feels comfortable for you. And then let's switch sides. So the left leg comes back, right leg forward, and my feet are spaced pretty widely. Someone recently described it to me as your legs are in different lanes, right? Like if you're on a highway, my legs are in different lanes. So your legs are in different lanes, arms up overhead, grasp your left wrist, and small side bend to the right. Inhale through center, release the hands down behind the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades, lift your chin, little arch. And let it go. Both feet back this time, and make your way into puppy pose once again. Hopefully it feels a little different than the first time we did this morning. And then come up onto hands and knees. We'll do a little bit of a active thread the for this one. My right hand's going to stay down, my left arm's going to reach up, and I'm going to exhale and bring my left hand through. Inhale up. Exhale comes through. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. And then plant your left hand. Take a moment to square your shoulders. And then let's inhale for the right. And exhale through. Inhale, lift. You'll notice I'm not going very deep here. I'm just making it really comfortable. Doing a little weight bearing through my right arm. You'll feel your hips moving a little bit. One more. Inhale and plant your arm. Let's make our way onto our backs. So go ahead and roll over onto your backs and bring your knees in. Just do the little low back release. Soles of the feet down onto the mat. Walk your legs and feet wide and let your hips roll side to side. Your arms can come out in a nice big T if you've got room, or they could be in cactus position. And maybe even pause and look in the opposite direction, almost like you're moving in slow motion. Let your body relax and move. Let your head roll side to side, so your head rolls away from your knees. Let's just do a couple more. I feel like I could just do this for the next 15 minutes. All right, back to center. Knees bent, knees together, feet wide, arms up overhead. I've got my fingers interlaced. You could interlace them like I do, or you could have your thumbs hooked together, or you could just reach your arms and your fingertips away from your shoulders and your hips. And now bring your arms alongside your body, bend your elbows, walk your feet in as we come into bridge pose. Set yourself up for success here this morning. Exhale and lift when you're ready. We have opened up the shoulders quite a bit this morning, so if you do want to straighten your arms and interlace your fingers underneath, I don't know if I can do that this morning. Oh, no, that's okay. Maybe become aware of what happens to your internal organs as you lift your hips up. Can you feel them shift or move? Maybe even gurgle. And then go ahead and come on down nice and slowly. So try not to just let yourself fall. Purposely lower your hips back onto your mat. Exhale and lift. Again, option to interlace your hands and place them underneath you to get up into a little bit higher bridge pose. I've moved my fingers over one position into goofy fingers. Try to hold it there. And then slowly release. Again, purposely let yourself come down. And the holding is for the stability. And bring your knees in and hug. Roll, release. Left foot onto the mat, right leg up into the air. Support the back of your right thigh. Point and flex. The left leg can stay bent, or you can start sliding the left leg out alongside your mat. Circle your ankle. If you get into any sticky points, maybe pause and think like, oh, that needs a little attention. And then go ahead and release the right leg down. Maybe take a pause and just notice if there's any different sensation going on from one leg to the other. And then start to move the left leg up. Thank goodness you're all here with me doing this. Keeping me on schedule for self-care, at least 3 mornings a week. So much more fun to do it with a group. I don't know about all of you, but if I left to my own accord, the whole thing would take me 5 minutes. So it's good to slow down, take the time. All right, let's give that left leg a release on down. And make your way into happy baby or a final stretch of your choosing. So is there something you would like to still do that we haven't done this morning that would make you feel whole, like your practice was complete? Maybe Shavasana. Maybe Shavasana is all you need. So slowly finish up whatever pose you've got going on. And let's make our way into a final resting pose. I'm feeling the need to grab my blanket this morning and use that somehow. So just place that blanket down. So make your way into your own comfortable position. As you get settled onto your mat, and close your eyes and allow your body to settle. You can bring your attention to your breath, to the weight of your body on your mat. And feel your breath move in and out. Noticing where that breath wants to move. And maybe focusing that breath just a little bit on any parts of your body that could benefit from a little extra attention this morning. Soften your jaw, just in case you are clenching your mouth. And let your eyes sink deep into your skull, softly, gently. Feel the rise and fall of your belly. And slowly start to move your hands and your feet. Start to move your legs and your arms. Let your head roll side to side. Take your time as you roll to your side and gently guide yourself back to a seated position. With your hands in front of your heart and your eyes closed. And take a moment of gratitude, sending thanks out into the world. And we'll finish by chanting Om together one time. Nice big breath in, let it out. Inhale for Om. The light in me sees and honors the light in each one of you. Bow your head. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Go ahead and lift your gaze. Open your eyes. Thank you, each and every one of you, for coming out this morning. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you next time.